back to my channel. If you're new, hi, my name's Angie, but they call me Dell for short because of my middle name, which I'm not gonna pronounce. Hello. Today I'm gonna do a story time, and it's gonna be about how I suffered, how I have suffered from depression and how it led me to trying to commit suicide. Well, committing suicide, but that I did not succeed. I'm gonna start off by saying this topic is really hard for me to talk about, but I just want to help those who are suffering through the same thing that I have been suffering with. I mean, I'm still suffering from depression, but not as much as how I used to. Okay, I'm gonna just get to it. So it started when I found out when I was 14. No, I was like 15, 14, 15. My parents got divorced at that age. My parents got divorced when I was like 14, I think. And I mean, I'm the only girl out of 3, and I'm the middle child, so everybody, and I was like the type that everybody expected so much of. Who was gonna accomplish your dreams, the one who was gonna go to college, the one that was gonna make the family like better, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know how to explain it, but everybody expected more. Like, everybody expected a lot of me. And it got to the point that my mom got with another guy who was my stepdad, but they're not together anymore. And so we're gonna call him Mike. And so my mom got with Mike, and at the beginning it was like all cool, whatever, like nothing major. And then he moved in with us, and then soon, like I'll say like 3 months later, we bought a house. Well, my mom and Mike bought a house, so we moved in with them and everything. They got married, so yeah, that happened. But take in mind that me and my mom, since I'm the only girl, me and my mom were like the closest. I was never close with my dad, but me and my mom we were like so close. I would tell her everything, she would tell me everything. We would go out together, you know, like just daughter and mom type of things. But when he moved in, like, he took that away from me. Like, my mom would not go out with me anymore, and I used to play soccer at that time. And I would be like, "Oh, mom, can you take me to my soccer games?" And she'd be like, "Oh, no, I can't because Mike doesn't want to go." So he would be like controlling her and all. And I really didn't like that, and I just started feeling down. I felt like she wasn't there for me anymore. And then it got to the point where she wasn't able to go to. We had a store by where we lived. There was a store in the corner, like a corner store. And then it got bad that, I mean, it got to the point where he wouldn't let her go to the corner store without him. It would be like I would be like, "Oh, mom, let's go get our eyebrows done, or let's go get our nails done." She'd be like, "Okay," but then Mike would be like, "Oh no, you can't go without me." So that's when I started feeling like, oh, he's controlling her. Like, I started feeling down. I started feeling like, oh, like, what's wrong? You know, like what can I do to make the situation better? And so, I mean, the situation, like, it stayed like that for a while. But then, let's say a year later, I think it was about a year later, that my mom got pregnant. And she had my little brother. He's so amazing. He's just a joy, a bundle of joy. And so he was born, And he would when he was a baby, my mom would tell me to take care of him, like to grab him, you know, like to take care of him, to do her job because of Mike. Mike wouldn't Mike wouldn't want her to take care of him. You get me? Like, he would be so demanding, like, oh no, let Angie take care of him. Like, they would go out to dates and stuff, and they would expect me to take care of him when when my little brother was only like 3 months. And so he was like that type of person. And so when, like, as time went on, I started developing like sadness in me. I started thinking like, oh, nobody wants me. I felt so bad. It got to the point where I couldn't even look at myself in the mirror because I felt like, oh wow, who the fuck wants you? Like, I just started talking, like, I started doubting myself. I started feeling like lonely. It got to the point where I couldn't even look at myself anymore. I would look at myself in the mirror and I would be like, gosh, like who wants you, Dell? Like, nobody wants you. You have a dad, but your dad doesn't talk to you. Your dad doesn't care about you. It's like you have, and I have brothers too. I have an older brother and a younger brother, like 2 years younger than me. And I was like, gosh, they don't want you. I just started feeling bad about myself. And nobody knew. My brothers didn't know. My mom didn't know. Nobody knew. But I also kept it to myself. I didn't tell nobody. Like I had my own room. As soon as I got home from school, I would just go straight to my room. I took off the light bulb from my light from the light that I had in the room. I took it off. I painted my room black. I just started feeling so down about myself. The windows, I had blinds and I would never open the blinds. I had black curtains. Like, I just felt so down. I felt so outside of the house, like outside of my room, I would be a different person. I would be a different person. I would laugh, I would smile, but inside I felt terrible. I didn't feel like myself. It got to the point that one day I got to the point that one day I would wake up, like I would wake up, but I would lay in bed all day, just all day, not talk to nobody. I would lock my door so nobody would bother me. Like, it was just so terrible. I mean, as time went by, like, it started getting worse and worse and worse. I would hang out with my friends after school and stay after school, but I would rather stay at school. Feel like, just feel like that they, like, I just feel like loved by my friends, like feel the energy that they have, and not go home because the vibe there was so terrible. Like, I felt so terrible in there. So I would just stay out as long as I can. And then when I would have to go home, like, I wouldn't want to, but I had to because, I mean, it was my home. So, I mean, it went on for a long time until I got to the point that I realized that my mom stopped acting like herself. Like, I was the type of person that would wake up in the morning, be so energized, like, she would have so much energy, wake me up and be like, oh, let's go run, or let's go somewhere, or let's go do this. And then all of a sudden it just stopped. And then I started noticing, and I was like, man, I don't know what to do anymore. My mom doesn't, like, it got to the point that me and my mom would argue every day, because I would tell her, Mom, like, why are you like this? Why are you letting him control you? Like, I'm talking about, they would argue, like, Mike and my mom would argue, and they would lock the door. Like, they would close their door, like their room door, and they would argue. And you would hear stuff being thrown, and then I would go in, because I was the oldest one there, because my older brother never lived with us. He had always lived with with my dad. And so it got to the point where they started throwing stuff, and then I went in, and I was like the oldest one there, you know, like I had a little brother and I had another little brother. Like, it was just terrible. And then it got to the point that he just started cussing at me, and then he just started cussing at my mom, telling her that she's a stupid ass bitch, that she can't do nothing without him, you know, stuff like that. And that made me feel so bad, because my mom would never, like, she's the type of person that would stand up for herself, and she didn't. She didn't do that. So that's when I realized, like, damn, like, he really is controlling her. And so we would, like, and so me and my mom would argue so much. Like, we would argue so much, and I would tell her, Mom, why are you letting him control you? Don't let him control you. She's like, I just love him, this and that. And it was just terrible. And then I was just like, damn. And then, like, I would leave it like that, and then I would go to my room, you know? And I would just think, and like at night I would think and think and think, and I would never sleep. Like, I would just think. I would sleep throughout the day, and then at night I wouldn't be able to, because I would think that, oh, look how my life has turned out to be. Like, what can I do to make it better? But then I will feel like there was nothing else there to make it better. My mom, everybody went out. My mom, my brothers went out, and I stayed home. I stayed home by myself. And, well, I mean, I figure that everybody has a medicine cabinet. Who doesn't have a medicine cabinet, right? And so we had a medicine cabinet, and I seen pills there. I seen pills, and I decided to take them, and I took them to my room. And I mean, I wasn't gonna do anything at the beginning. When I grabbed them, I wasn't gonna do anything. I just took them in my room, and then I sat them I had a shelf. I had a shelf where I had my TV on, and so I sat them on there, and I just looked at them. I just sat, like, they were right in front of me, and I just looked at them, and I was just thinking, like I was just thinking that, what would they do if I wasn't here? I was just thinking that, who would love me? Who would miss me? And then I just thought that nobody would. I thought that nobody loved me. I thought that nobody would miss me. I just started thinking, damn, my dad lives 3 hours away, and he doesn't call for me. He only calls for my brothers. Like, what can I do? Nobody is here for me, you know? So when they were out, I grabbed the pills, and I took them. And when I took them, I don't remember after. I blanked out, but they said that I overdosed. I'm gonna tell you guys what my mom told me. That she got home and she called my name. They said they brought me food, but when she went in my room, she saw me on the ground. She called the cops. I mean, the ambulance and everything, and they took me. And then I woke up. When I woke up, my mom wasn't there. Like, you know, you would wake up to expect your mom there. You would wake up to expect your family there, right? But she wasn't there. Instead, she left me a message. And she said that I'm so dumb for doing that. That I should have never done it. And so from there, they took me to a hospital, a different hospital, where it's, I don't know, I forgot what's it called, but it was in like Petaluma, like far from here, you know, like I'll say like 4 or 5 hours from here. And so Yeah, they took me. I mean, they sent me there. It was for like people who are gonna harm themselves or harm others, and stuff like that. And I stayed there for about 3 weeks, 3 or 4 weeks. And in there, they started giving me like antidepressant pills and stuff like that. And out of those 3 weeks, I think it was a month. I'm not sure, but I'm pretty. I don't know. But out of those 3 weeks, my mom, well, my family only came to see me at least twice. And then my brother left me a note the second time. I mean, they're not allowed to they're not allowed to give you anything because it's like harmful. So, but when they would come see you, they would like give you paper so you could draw or write. And so my brother gave me a letter. Like he wrote, it wasn't a letter. He just wrote something on the paper because he didn't want to tell me because my mom was there. He wrote a paper saying, we wanted to come, but Mike didn't let us. And so when he told me that, like, that broke my heart. It hurt. It hurted me so bad. And then no, and that was it. Like, that was like, I got out. And then my mom was just talking to me, I mean, Mike was there too when they picked me up, but I didn't want to talk to nobody. I was just depressed. So I had to switch where I was because everybody came. Everybody's home already. They came out of work, so. But I was saying that when I got out of the place I was, the hospital I was in, I lasted like about 2 weeks. It was like 2 weeks, and I started cutting myself. I mean, I went through the same. I was dealing with the same thing. I felt terrible again. I felt like nobody loved me, nobody cared for me. So I went a state where I would never leave my room. Like it was summertime, and I would never leave my room. Never ever leave my room. So, so I started like cutting myself. I started cutting my wrist. I started cutting my thighs so that nobody would see. I would always wear jeans, or if I were to wear short, I mean, I would never wear shorts. If I was to wear a skirt, it would have to be like a midi skirt. So yeah, that's like that thing I would wear. And like I just started liking the pain, like the pain that I felt when I would cut myself. Like I felt like a relief, like if it was a relief. And then all of a sudden everything went back to how it used to be. Like Mike doing the same thing, my mom doing the same thing. And so I got tired of it, and I was like, the only way that I'm gonna be gone from this world is if I actually hang myself. And I was going to. My room was like in the back of the house, so it was like the back of the house, like my room, and then there was so it was like my room here, and then a little hallway, and then the closet was facing the door. So the door was there, and the closet was there. So I grabbed the rope from the back of the backyard, and I tied it into my closet, like where you hang the clothes and stuff. I tied it, like I did like a knot or whatever, and then I was gonna put it on my neck, but then that's when my little brother Yo-Yo passed by. He's now 16 and I am 18. He seen me, and then he was like, Angie, what are you doing? And I just stopped, and then he was like, Angie, please don't do this, Angie. He's like, Angie, I love you and I don't want you gone. And so I felt so bad that I felt warm. I felt like, oh my God, somebody really cares for me. But then I felt terrible because I was doing something that he didn't like, and he's like my little brother, and I really care for him. So I was like, I'm sorry, Yo-Yo, I'm sorry. And then I guess from there he had a take in mind that he was like 12 years old. Yeah, he was like 12 years old. And so he sat my mom down one day and he started talking to her, saying, you know what, Angie needs help. You need to get her a therapist. You need to do something, because I don't want my sister gone, and it's all because of you and him. But mainly because of him, because he controls you and you're not like this, and you're bringing Angie down with with you. And so my mom got me help and everything, and from that day on, like I have a therapist, and like I talk to her so much and stuff, and like it makes me feel so good about myself now. Like she helps me a lot. I was taking antidepressants, but I told her that I want to take a break on those. Like it's just so much, and I really appreciate her, because she has really taught me a lot, and she has um, taught me to love myself and gives me good advice, and it's just amazing. I'm really grateful for her. And well, I know my story's like all over the place, because it is really hard for me to tell uh, people or talk about it, you know. Um, but I just hope that whoever's watching, or whoever sees this, understands that depression is a serious thing, and I just want you guys to get help, or you know, like talk to somebody, because I know nobody wants you gone, and I know that you feel like nobody wants you, but I know that somebody in this world really does. And I know that one person who really does love you the most is God, and without him you would have never been here. And he gave you a purpose. He brought you to this life for a reason, and don't take it away. This is the end of my story time, but I hope this helped someone, or hope you let someone know about it. Help others if you can. And well, thanks for watching, and hope to see you guys soon again.